Power 105 gig come together? Because you originally at Hot 97.
Yeah, I was originally at Hot 97, and I was there for a while. I was doing the new two. You know, I was doing the morning show with Miss Jones, and then Miss Jones, they let Miss Jones go. She left. And I started doing the newer two, and I did the newer two for about a year and a half. And I think the newer two kind of brought exclusives back to New York City, where people at 2 o'clock were tuning in to hear what I was going to play. And it got to a point where it just wasn't enough for me. The newer two was cool. It was a half an hour a day, and I appreciated it, but I just wanted something more. And I felt at Hot 97 there was no growing space. It was a glass ceiling. There was nowhere to move. So it was like this is the time where Power 105 was here in New York. They weren't, I would say, a threat at the time, and they weren't competition. So I took a meeting with them, and they offered me a position. And when they offered me a position, it was nerve-wracking. It was scary. I've been at Hot 97 for a long time, so I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was going to go to Power 105 today and then they turn to country music tomorrow. But I just realized that I got to take the chance because I wasn't growing over there. It's not like I was in a clique. It's not like anybody held me down. So I went and turned that bitch around. They moved me to afternoons, moved to mornings, brought Charlamagne and Angela Yee. And I think with our work ethic is one of those things where it's like, you can't stop those boys, you know what I mean? And that's how we are. It's like, we don't sleep at the station. We outwork most of the people in the industry, and we continue to. This is not just one of those things where we do for a check. We do it because we want to prove a point. And I think we're proving that point.
How does it feel when you guys start beefing with Hot 97? Because you're the only person in the morning show that actually used to be at Hot 97. Right. So I'm sure you still have relationships at the old station.
I don't have any relationships
at
the old station. No, I don't speak to anybody at that old station. I think it has to do partly with management. It's kind of like their management is one of the managements that say, that's your enemy. You can't talk to your enemy. You can't DJ a party with your enemy. You can't even shake their hands. That's how they are bred and raised. And it is what it is. This is, at the end of the day, this is my life. This is how I feed my kids. So if it's war, it's war. If we're friends, we're friends. We can shake hands today, but when we get on that box and when we go, we're going to go. And I have no friends in this industry. I keep a small clique, so if somebody has a problem with it, it's kind of like it suck my dick from the back. What I mean? As long as I got my family, nobody else matters, and that's how I feel. My family's straight, my mom is straight, so it's like whatever happens, you know what I mean?
You guys in Flex were going pretty hard, back and forth. Mm-hmm. I mean, is that still going? You guys is there a ceasefire?
I mean, it was never no ceasefire. I mean, I just think it's at the end of the day, both teams want to win. Yeah. And we're gonna do whatever it takes to win. He's not gonna let up, and we're not gonna let up. So it's one of those things where it's like you never know when it'll pop off again. Yeah. It might pop off tomorrow. It might not never pop off. But it's one of those things where we're never gonna let up. Especially the cast that I have. It's like it's like one of those things. It's like having a big brother and a big sister. And I'm an only child. So I was the type to, if I had a beef, I was small. As a kid, my original DJ name was DJ Shrimp. I was 5'2", glasses, braces, but I had the heart of a lion. So I'm the type to slap you and then run. You wasn't gonna beat me home, but I got my point across. Mm-hmm. But now when I slap you, I got 2 other people behind me that have my back. So it's a lot. It's fun. You know what I mean? And then the way our minds think, it's kind of like we joke ourselves. We joke ourselves so bad. What could you possibly say about us? What could you say about Charlamagne? What could you say about me? What could you say about Angela Yee? It's like that we haven't said ourselves. So it becomes a joke, and it makes anybody out on the outside look crazy that ever go at us because it's like it's the Eminem syndrome. You got yourself so hard. What can people say?
I mean, in this industry, people take things personally. Mm-hmm. And an odd comment here or there, you're just doing your show, that person might hate you for the rest of your life.
Got it a lot, yeah.
You know what I mean? And not only will that person hate you, but everyone around them will hate you as well, and is going to try to show out for that. Mm-hmm. For that dude. I mean, how has it been being, because when you're playing exclusives and everything else like that, everybody loves you. Right. Everyone loves you. But when you're doing a morning show and you're bringing out gossip and you're doing that, you're suddenly in a different situation. So how was it sort of being in hip hop and dealing with that type of energy?
Truthfully, it's nothing to worry about. I don't want, one thing Miss Jones told me when I was doing morning radio, you have no friends in this industry. They're your friend when you're up, but when you're down, they won't even return your call. So I kept it like that, you know. And perfect example would be shout to Nori. Me and Nori's good now. Sorry, Nori, I'm gonna tell the story, Nori.
Okay.
When Nori was popping, before Nori was popping, Nori used to come into my mom's house and do freestyles all the time. You know, that was the crib. Everybody was down there, from Fabulous, Joe Button, Nori. Used to come to my mom's house. You know, do mixtapes and stuff like that. And at the time, Nori was broke. I was broke. We were just struggling people. And I used to pick Nori up all the time, and then Nori became popping. I mean, N-O-R-E, Nori, I Love My Life, you know, the soundtrack to the streets. And I remember I was working on my album, and I called Nori one day, and I'm like, yo, Nori, I need you for my album. So Nori said, no doubt, 35,000.
What year was this?
This was when Nori was on fire. Nori was New York. Banned from TV Nori, like
98.
98. Nori said 35,000. I said, Nori, like, you know, I used to pick you up from the crib. And Nori said, yeah, I know, but this is exactly what Nori said. Nori said, I'm popping right now. I don't know how long I'll be popping, so I need everything. I said, damn, that was my nigga. And you know, needless to say, he wasn't on the album. I couldn't afford 35,000. And then, you know, a couple of years later, I stopped playing Nori records. So I took it as, that's fucked up. You know, this was my chance to get out of the hood. I stopped playing Nori records. So then, you know, hip hop is everything else. You have a hot streak and a cold streak. So at that time, he started getting a cold streak, started going down. He needed help. I'm doing a new too. I started going to Breakfast Club. So then Nori needed help, and I went to play Nori record. And then Nori called me one day and was like, yo, why don't you play my records? Why don't you fuck? And I told him the story. And Nori just started laughing and says, you know what, I was on it like that. I apologize, I'm sorry. And now me and Nori's, you know, we good. He calls me all the time, you know, get advice. I call him when I need help. But it's just, that's how the industry is. It's like when you popping, you forget about everybody else. When you're not popping, you remember everybody. And that just made me realize I don't have no friends in the industry. So if somebody gets mad from a statement that I said, fuck it. You know, I don't have any friends.
Every penis that she's been linked to, so what? I shot her club up. That's ejaculating in a chick, for people that don't know. I shot her club up and I got her pregnant.
50 wants to feed his niggas.
Huh.
Yeah, and if he can't feed you, then you're still a threat to some degree. And Game was talking, you know, real greasy about fucking him up and all types of crazy shit. That type of shit, you know, on a street level, you can't forgive that.